Hello, hello. How are you doing today?
Hi, Paul. I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Oh, there's so much to discuss here with this movie. I knew we were getting into something. I try not to watch too much about the films and, know very little going in and just take it in. But when I saw the disclaimer on the trailer, I was like, oh no, we're getting into something here. But I think this is gonna hit people in a lot of interesting ways, and that's got to be an exciting thing because I know a long journey for you, right?
Yes, it has been a long journey.
But you got to be excited to bring something like this out there in the world.
Of course, yeah. I think it's death for a writer if nobody wants to talk about your work, you know? Like, yes, it will be controversial, but I'd rather it be controversial than boring.
That is true. Well, but the performances in this are so good, and of course, you have to have the right people, and I think in any different set of actors could have totally changed this, and but I'm always curious about like how did you know that they were exactly the right ones?
I'll tell you, every single person in this cast I knew was the one. Martin
Mhm.
got us greenlit. I wrote Martin a letter and I was like, please, pretty please talk to me. And I knew if I could just talk to him that maybe I could like charm him. But he really understood the script, he understood the character, he understood the context and the content. And so um he got us greenlit for sure, but he is such a generous, thoughtful actor. He's obviously a surgeon of an actor. Like, my God, I'm still discovering
Mhm.
things that he's doing. Um, and then Jenna, we had a pretty robust search for Cairo. And then Jenna, when I met Jenna, she completely disarmed me and she understood things about Cairo, said things about Cairo that I had never said aloud, but that I thought. So it kind of felt like it was kind of like the wedding dress thing where which I
Mhm.
didn't even think was real. Like people are like, yes, I knew when I put it on. I was like, okay. But no, I when I spoke to her, I was like, oh, okay, yes. And our chemistry, we had amazing chemistry. And she's from the desert. I'm from Tennessee, but we both share a kind of a gothic proclivity.
Mhm.
And so it just felt very correct. And then of course Dagmara is like,
Yeah.
oh my God. And then Bashir is so, I mean, he looks like Zeus, like he's just so charming and
Yeah.
so gorgeous. And Christine Gideon, who is so, God, just break my heart all over the place. Like it couldn't have been anybody but all of those people. It all came
Yeah.
together in a way that felt like fate. Like I know that sounds
Yeah.
insane or like woo-woo, but it was all very correct.
Yeah. Well, and like this is your baby. Like this
Yes.
movie is so important to you, and it has to be right. And but also, because of these wonderful people, you had the front row seat to see this all unfold. And I know there's so many special moments that you'll always remember about this. But what was that one moment where you're kind of looking around going, this is how I pictured it.
Oh God. So many.
Yeah.
There's a moment when Cairo is on the balcony and it's like
Mhm.
a slow push in through the rain. And I remember sitting in Village watching it, and it was like a blazing sunny day. Like the movie is supposed to be really moody, and there was supposed to be a ton of rain. Of course, there was none. So we have these huge rain towers, and she's standing up there. And I remember sitting in Village, and she's got that phone on the railing of the balcony.
Mhm.
And I was watching it. I was like, oh God, it looks like she doesn't have a hand. And it scared me so beautifully. And I was just like, that is exactly that. Honestly, that shot, I think
Mhm.
explains a lot about the movie where it's like so beautiful but something's wrong, you know.
Mhm.
That moment was pretty spectacular.
Yeah, that's so cool. And your journey up to this point has been really, really interesting too. I mean, it's a crazy business. And but now, people get to look at this and go, okay, yeah, this is what I want to do. This is the kind of thing I want to do. And so what kind of advice do you give to somebody who wants to follow in your footsteps?
Oh, great question. I think to ally yourself with other people who want to see your vision through. Like my producing partner, Mary Margaret, who produced this movie,
Mhm.
we've been together since 2013. When we were sitting on the floor of my house in Toluca Lake, like shot listing this, like high in the sky before there was ever a production company involved. I think having people around you who support your vision and who you can build upon. Like I've worked with so many actors on this piece and my other works. I love to do readings, and so many of my friends who are actors have been so generous. And these characters are built around things that they do accidentally in the reading, or like choices they make. You know, like I would say, you know, make friends with artists who support your vision. Always ask for what you want. The worst you're going to get is no. And the most important thing, and it is different than being nice, but truly the most important thing is to be kind, because kindness is really just communication and the anticipation of need.
Absolutely. Well said. You know, my co-host Drew Pearson is one of our NFL greats. Caught the Hail Mary, and of course, big pop culture turn up. But you know, we talk about on the show that Hail Mary moment, which is that moment in your life or career where you just had to go for it and it worked out for you. Would this be it for you, or was there something else? Maybe you've had a few, but what's that moment where you're just like, all right, here we go?
Yeah, this is it, because it made me a director.
Mhm.
I had never considered directing. I was an actor and then I was a writer. And Mary Margaret and I were we had a different director that we were considering attaching way years and years ago. And we were in a casting session with a really great actress, and she wasn't getting there in the scene with his direction. And so I came in, and it was not my place to do this, but I did. I gave her direction, and it was like stars and like glitter and like Disney sounds. And she got there. She got there in the scene, and I knew that I could articulate it. And later that evening, Mary Margaret was like, "You have to direct this movie. You're going to direct this movie." And she kind of spoke life over me. And I went to Point Grey, and this was sort of the dividing day. I went to Point Grey, and we had been, you know, also considering other directors. And I was like, "Listen, I want to direct this movie." And I thought they were going to tell me to take a hike. And they were like, "Great." And they were they're confident. I felt confident asking them, or telling them, I guess. And then their confidence in the response was like, it just changed everything. Like they could have told me no, but they didn't.
Mhm.
And here I am today, which is wild. I just always
Well,
ask for what you want. Like honestly, always ask for what you want.
hey, that's how I got on the show. I asked to be on it, and there I was. And I said to him later, what would happen? Or like, how did you know? You know, because what if I screw up? He goes, well, then you want to come back. And so, yeah, but you know, I just asked for it. I knew that I wanted it, and gave me a
Yeah.
shot.
Well, and when
Yeah.
you ask for something that you want, I mean, you know, you got to be prepared to take it. You got to be prepared for
Hmm.
them to say yes.
Yeah.
And then it's not that it's like all smooth sailing from there, but it's what you want to do. And then when you're doing what you want to do, you're having fun and you're working with people you like.
But part of that is also that mindset. And we talk about this on the show too, that success mindset that you have to have, whether you're feeling it or not, because, you
Yeah.
know, as creative people are notoriously tough on ourselves. So is there something you tell yourself that kind of keeps you on that right path?
Yes, I'm completely delusional. Yeah, I mean, I think I just tell myself that I'm gonna do it. Like I don't leave shit. What a great question. There's no other option for me other than that it's going to happen. So I just don't, it's not that I don't have a plan B. I think plan B gets a bad rap. I just try to enjoy whatever it is that I'm doing and enjoy the people that I'm doing it with. So I just tell myself that I just tell myself in the great expanse of time, it's already done. In fact, that is a thing that I say to myself. And
Yeah.
that helps me get over the scary part. If it's already done, then it's gonna get done, you know?
I love that. You know, and in this film, there's so much here to discuss. And I know, you know, if you're going to do Q&As, or even when people are like, oh, all right, I got to ask you about this. What is it that you mainly hope people will take away from it? Because I'm guessing people will take away different things depending on their life experiences or how they view things. But you know, what's the main thing for you?
I really hope that they can take away grace for characters
Mhm.
that don't fit the binary. For grace for characters who are not a perfect villain, not a perfect victim. Grace for characters who I think are more human than that binary. Like real life people are not perfect anything. And I think that these characters, um, even though the world is quite heightened and it is like a beautiful scary tale, like these characters feel closer to real life to me than the perfect victim or perfect villain do. And I hope that the audience can, I guess, examine their judgments of these characters and why they make them when the information they have is subjective.
Hmm. Love that. You know, of course, we got to let you go, but I got to know what we're going to see next from you. It's like, you know, we need more of this enlightened and intelligent stuff from you.
What can I say? The most I can say, the next original piece that I have is the book that Beatrice is writing in this movie.
Oh, that's great. Well, we're certainly looking forward to that. And I know you've got probably plenty of other stuff going on that we'll find out about, but keep watching on the path. Thank you for great answers today and look forward to talking to you again very, very soon when you tell everyone to check this out.
Thank you. I hope so too. Also, that artwork behind you is unbelievable.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm trying to track down the artist.